vacuum metallized foils add gold and silver luster to various industrial items like food packages, magazines, cards, and gift certificates. NIKKA TECHNO is the first company in Japan to commercialize vacuum metallized foils.
It's sparkling.
In 1964, the year of the Tokyo Olympic Games, Morinaga's gold chocolate used our foils firstly. In the subsequent era, we managed to develop hologram technology and achieve great success in its large-scale manufacturing. As a result, holograms are now commonly found on fishing lures, cosmetic packages, and various household appliances.
Oh, I often see them. Are they all holograms?
That's right.
When I was young, I used to have a hobby of collecting trading cards. The ones that were considered rare had a charming sparkle on them, which I vividly remember till this day.
What's interesting is that you can put text on it. Right now, we are currently placed this for security measures.
Hologram stamping foil is characterized by its iridescent luster. Hologram foils and films are used not only for decoration, but also in security fields such as anti-counterfeiting. Vacuum metallized foils decorate the surface of a wide variety of products. How is the process of making foils carried out at the factory of this innovative company, NIKKA TECHNO?
This process applies a release layer to polyester film as its first coating process. The first step to peel off the thin layers is the release layer, which is what it's called, and when it's transferred, the wax component goes on top of the thin layers to protect it from scratches and other damage.
After the release layer is made, the roll is sent to the next process.
In the second step, we are painting it with a yellow dye, and when the aluminum is applied under it, it will turn gold.
Oh, I see.
For example, if this were red, it would be metallic red.
After coloring, the next one is the main process.
What are they doing here?
This is the third process, and this layer is called the evaporation layer, which is the next layer after the coloring layer, and is the most important layer in this stamping foil, because it is the layer that glows the most.
By the way, how much time does it usually take for this process to be completed?
It typically takes around 1 hour to vacuum, then it takes 1 hour approximately to run the film. The entire process, including vacuuming and running, usually takes approximately 2 hours. The first hour is very important.
The first hour.
If the vacuum is not properly maintained, the aluminum will not vaporize cleanly and impurities will adhere to it.
Really sparkling.
Yes, that's right. We've already finished to make it sparkle here, so...
The time has come. The air is turned in, and finally the evaporation of the roll has finished. The vapor deposition process and equipment, which forms the evaporated metal particles into a uniform thin film, are based on know-how accumulated over more than 50 years.
At last, it means that the sparkle is already completed before our eyes.
It's not finished yet.
Not yet?
After this, there is an adhesive process, and then the product is slit, inspected, and shipped. This is the adhesive process. This yellow layer now coating is adhesive for Japanese paper. This is an adhesive designed to give a beautiful golden color on Japanese paper. We have over 50 types of adhesives. Special items such as one made for leather are also available.
For leather. You have one for leather?
You know, there are wallets, shoes, you can see hologram shoes, wallets, even luxurious gold wallets. Such leather is not real gold. That is also made by a foil.
Do you think if the type of the product is different, does the judgment of your production also change?
We handle production processes with utmost care, since even minor alterations can have a significant impact on the product. Thus, we are highly cautious in implementing changes.
It's almost finished.
Yes, we carefully trim the film to the exact dimensions and thoroughly examine it using a film defect detector to identify any scratch, presence of foreign objects, and so on.
Now the worker is carefully checking the product.
Yes, we are also inspecting by our eyes.
After the inspection here, is it time to go to the customer?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Stamp! What are you doing here?
We are now checking the finished product by actually stamping it onto the paper.
What do you expect to verify by actually stamping on it?
I check the color of the stamping, the suitability of the cut edge after peeling off, and also the weight when it is peeled off.
So there's weight when you cut it. By the way, how is the current condition? You should get it by the inspection.
I think we can ship the goods without any problem.
Good.
after commercials, we will inform you of new challenges that NIKKA TECHNO is taking on. Established 94 years ago, NIKKA TECHNO was a pioneer in Japan, utilizing metallic vapor-deposited foils and driving technological advancements. Their factories are fully equipped to meet every requirement related to foil production. There is an area in the factory that is even more strictly controlled.
The second floor is off limits to all concerned.
This is a strictly secured room.
When you say off limits, does that mean that the employees are allowed to enter because they are all related to this company?
No, only 3 operators can enter here, and the company executives have ever entered this room.
What is going on here inside?
This is where we process the holograms. This is a clean room where it's maintained in a spotless condition, thus preventing any possibility of dust particles entering.
What is this?
This is the process of making holograms.
Oh, really? I noticed the uneven edges looks quite three-dimensional, but I wonder the process how to make such a jagged look.
The hologram pattern is pressed onto the raw material, so it embosses the design onto the surface.
So how does pressing the mold give it a three-dimensional effect?
The difficult part of this is that we have devised such a method for the raw material so that the colors will be the same when the mold is pressed. It took 10 years.
Ooh. It took 10 years, and the result of those 10 years is this brightness and three-dimensionality.
Yes, it's finally been 10 years since we were able to mass produce them and make a profit with them.
A hologram technology that records three-dimensional images using the reflection of light. NIKKA TECHNO is the only manufacturer in Japan that owns its own hologram patterns and performs integrated production from foil manufacturing to processing. By having all the processes in-house, they are able to produce custom foils in a short period of time for the various foil stamping methods that the customers use in own factories, and they are able to develop a stable business with no price competition.
Now we come outside. We can see there is a huge device in front of us. What kind of device is that?
This one is called as deodorization equipment, and to mitigate the detrimental depletion of the ozone layer and environmental degradation, it is imperative to prevent the emission of organic solvents that are applied to the coloring or adhesive layer. This is accomplished by channeling the deodorizer through a specialized filter that efficiently eradicates volatile organic compounds prior to their discharge into the environment.
VOCs are organic compounds that are volatile and become gaseous in the atmosphere. Strict emission controls are in place, and efforts to reduce VOCs are underway, particularly in major manufacturing industries.
So this device is for the environment in mind, right?
That's right. This device acts as a filter to block volatile organic compound gas emissions, even with organic solvents.
I see.
And their challenges in new areas are also being pursued.
I've heard your products have been adopted for new goods, now widely utilized.
In the automotive industry, plating materials have been dominated traditionally, particularly for front grills, air conditioner vents, and other areas, but foils have been replacing such plating more and more recently.
Well, plating had been used traditionally, but why has it decreased to use now?
Due to the recent environmental issues, automotive manufacturers are opting for materials that have a reduced negative impact on the environment. With respect to this, our stamping foils are one such material that is considered to be less harmful to the environment when compared to plating. Thus, our stamping foils can be regarded as being more environmentally friendly than the conventional plating method.
Decorating parts with vapor-deposited foil can greatly reduce the use and emission of VOCs compared to hot air and paint. NIKKA TECHNO saw a great business opportunity and has been developing the technology. As they approach their 100th anniversary, NIKKA TECHNO will continue to seek new business opportunities.
We have been working on these holographics for about 20 years. There were many fields that were not yet recognized by the general public. Last June, in KBS Kyoto, we opened Koto Up. We are pleased to announce the opening of our antenna store.
Koto Up is a store where you can enjoy baby sponge cakes and drinks in a sparkling space with plenty of holographic foils. The store was produced by the people who will support the next generation of NIKKA TECHNO.
The store currently uses about 7 types of our holograms, and customers visited say they have never seen such a store before. We have been working at background, but I think we produce good products. And we would like to continue to spread information of these products so that everyone can understand them.
Of course, we aim to manufacture environmentally friendly products. So in order to achieve carbon neutrality by the year 2050, so the automobile industry is paying attention to what more we can do to help them achieve this goal. Therefore, in order for the automobile industry to use these products, we must first customize the specifications for each field. And if we can market them in this way, we can cooperate with them in a more environmentally friendly manner.